Hey Soul Family, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ruby. So today we're talking about ways of X, house of X, powers of X, really all the X's, except for the ones that won't leave us alone, okay? But I wanted to talk about a core, I don't want to say concept, just like a question, just like a thing that's been reoccurring when it comes to Nightcrawler, because he really stands out like a sore thumb. He asks the questions that no one else wants to pay attention to, and that's what we're talking about today. So this video is dedicated to the loners, to the misunderstood, to the weirdos, to the outcasts, to the black sheeps, to the ones that are paving a way, paving a path without even realize it, simply by being themselves. And this is a message that has been coming through to me quite often in this past month, actually, about people being the revolutionary. And I think a lot of people are experiencing this right now. The black sheeps, the misunderstood, you guys are definitely experiencing a revolutionary battle within yourself where you are a revolutionary, okay? And you may not want to accept that because you don't see yourself as that, because you're not trying to be that. But you in your own being and the way you look at things, your perspective, the way you question things, it causes you to be a revolutionary because you stand out, okay? And that's a title that you may want to accept. A lot of people are a revolutionary and do not realize it and do not want to step into that role. But you know, that's just a title. Any title is just a fucking title. Whether you want to attach yourself to it or not, it's up to you. If that title doesn't resonate with you, then you don't need to go by it, right? But what I'm trying to say is that's what you are. Whether you want to go by that or not is just, you know, when you're healing yourself, when you're looking at things from a different perspective that other people don't see it from, you automatically come into that role, even if you don't want to. So Nightcrawler is a religious man, which I love because I'm not religious. I don't believe in religion. I do believe there's truth in all religions. I respect all the energies and the deities. I just don't respect the structure and, you know, the battles that it causes between people and the perceptions that people have on others because of religion. It causes a lot of turmoil in the world, right? So Kurt's religious, but he's very open-minded. He just wants to figure out like what's going on. X-Men, the mutants, have gone to this place where it's like very arrogant, very egotistical, very we are the gods. Like, hello, we have the power to fucking never die again. Like, we die, we come back. What can be more godly than that? And that may not be realistic to our reality, but what I will say is humans are very egotistical. There are a lot of humans who have a big God complex, and that is on the rise more and more as we're growing. There's more innovations, the technologies, AI, right? The most important thing to keep in mind here is this fall of a system, because this sounds really outrageous. When you look at the series, it sounds crazy. That can happen in real life, but we got to see it kind of like metaphorically as well, because systems are falling slowly but surely, and those systems have to be replaced with new systems. And this has definitely been a conversation that's happening currently, right? What's going to happen when these people in power are out of power? Who's going to replace them? Who's going to replace these people in power? And this is the scary part, because you, my love, the misunderstood, the black sheeps, you're coming into a new cycle, into a new system, and you may be called to speak out, to give your perspective, to do something that is kind of scary for you, that's out of the box, that's just different, okay? And you may be called to do that, and this message is saying, do it. When it comes to what is happening in the world and things that are shifting, major fucking shifts, okay, whether we see it or not. At this point in time, the misunderstood are being called to make things be understood. And this is a very hard thing to do for some people, for some of us, because we don't know what that even fucking means. We don't know what to do with the way we think. We don't know why we think the way we think, right? But it's there, and we keep getting drawn to certain things. If you don't have ideas on how to express on what it is that you're doing and why you think the way you think, that's fucking okay too, okay? That is a part of the process for sure. Sometimes we don't know. And that's a hard truth for a lot of us to accept as humans. Like I said, ego, control, arrogancy, right? All those things play a role, whether it comes out in a harsh way or not. I'm not saying like you're this like, I'm the shit, da-da-da type of person. No, it's just that when things are out of our control and we can't see what's going to be ahead of us, if we can't see what the outcome is going to be, it's very scary for us, right? So that's what I'm saying. And let me take this moment to remind you guys that Nightcrawler is not a saint. He's done his fair share of bullshit, right? He's referred to as this pure-hearted, right? He's like this good intentioned soul. But has he done some bullshit? Yes. Has he sinned? Yes, right? So do not let your flaws define you. I think that's what he said. He says something along those lines in the comics, to not be defined by your flaws. And let me also say this, because the black sheeps tend to have this tendency. You guys are usually empathetic and sensitive, and you have the capacity and the ability to show compassion, to have different perspectives, and to understand and forgive others. But the thing is, you don't do it for yourself. You give yourself the hardest fucking time and beat yourself up about what you've done. Or let's even bring it to the present moment and not even the past. Even the thoughts that we have right now or the way that we're acting right now, we can do something and then like 10 minutes later be like, why did I do that? Because even that's a battle, right? Because we can still do what we know is bad for us and continuously do it and get caught in a loop of something like that as well. And even with that, I want you guys to have self-compassion, because it's not easy to break cycles. It's not easy to break loops, addictions, habits, thought forms. Anything that we've been in habit and practice of, it's very difficult to just break out of it right away, right? Or, without looking back on it sometimes. It's just how it is sometimes. So don't beat yourself up too much about all that. And even when it comes to our thought forms and what we think, right? We tend to define ourselves by, why do I have these thoughts? Why am I thinking this way? Because it contradicts what we feel or like another aspect of us. The point is, you are not your thoughts, and you can definitely move past it. I would really love for you to understand the value that you hold in your perspective and being so unique and being so misunderstood and outcasted, because even Xavier acknowledges Nightcrawler as a very special person in the way that he thinks and why it's necessary and why he's needed in the society, right? Because Xavier and Magneto, they're the big dogs, right? They're the ones that like seen as running shit, and they're the two main whatever. But Kurt is like, he's just in his own world, observing, trying to figure shit out and being like, but why this? But why that? He's the one asking the real questions. He's asking life questions. He's asking heart questions that are the hardest questions, okay? So that's who you are. That's who you are. And you may not know where the fuck you're going with that. You may not understand why you think that way. And you may be feeling very lost and isolated from your intermediate circle. Even if you have people around you, even if you connect with people online who understand your perspective, it's different when you don't have people around you who resonate with you and understand what it is that's on your mind. So that's really my message for you guys today, is to understand and just simply see the value of you in your being. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to create this huge legacy and do all these things. That could happen, definitely. But just you in your being and the way that you move and the way that you think, it's so extraordinary that it's going to shift shit without you even realizing it. It'll shift things in the room that you're in with the people that you're with. And the more you express yourself and voice yourself and speak your fucking truth and stand in it, the more impactful it will be. So again, this video is for the black sheeps, for the outcasts, for the ugly ducklings, right? For the misunderstood, the free thinkers, the truth seekers. You are a revolutionary being. Whether you want to stand in that role or not, it doesn't matter, because a revolutionary is just someone who does what the fuck they want to do, okay? And you may automatically fit into that role, and people may see you as trying to rebel and protest, and you may not even be trying to do any of that shit, right? You're just like, nah. But the way you think is so different that people are going to perceive you that way. And that's okay, because you are here to be a revolutionary. And that is what we are currently going through. We are going through a version of an apocalypse and some revolutions. Systems are being uprooted and new systems are coming in. It's just something to think about, because you are a heart warrior. And the thing about heart warriors is you can't numb your shit if you want to. I know, you know what? I'm going to do a following video about numbness to follow this, because heart warriors, I tell you, you get scolded over and over again. You get hurt over and over again. People shit on you, and your heart will not change. I know it hasn't changed. I know you're trying to numb it. I know you're trying to close yourself off and be selective and set your boundaries and who you're interacting with and things like that. But I know that the true misunderstood black sheeps are not numb in essence, in trueness. No one really is in trueness. We're just trying to avoid it to the best of our ability. But you know, you guys, I know it's tough to put yourself out there and speak your heart's truth when it's been trampled on over and over again. When you confide in somebody and then they use that information against you, when you put your trust in someone and they betray you, when they misuse you, when they manipulate you. There's so much that people do to break down. Ooh, I did not expect to start tearing up. Okay. There's so much that people will do to try to break you down, and it will not fucking work. They will not succeed. No matter how you feel, no matter if you feel that they are currently succeeding, in the long haul, in the end, they will not succeed. You will. Your heart will prevail if you stick to it and you speak your heart's truth. Okay, so thank you, butterflies, so much for tuning in and spending your time with me today. Stay fly and free, and I'll see you next time. Bye.